Hello everyone. In this session, we will be starting with a new principle of counting. And in last session, we had done multiplication principle. This session is for addition principle. So this is actually the continuation of what we did in the last session. Addition principle says that if I have two sets A and B and they are disjoint sets, means A intersection is B is 5. Set A has m elements. Set B has n elements and A intersection B is 5. Then what about n of AUB? N of AUB means number of elements in A union B, correct? And that answer is number of elements of A plus number of elements of B. Reason, number of A intersection B has become 0 as A intersection B is 5. A and B are disjoint sets. Now this we have already done in set theory. Number of A union B equal to number of A plus number of B minus n A intersection B. Since n A intersection B is 0 here, so that term I have not written. Now, if I have to write it in wording, then I must mention that addition principle says that an element of set A or set B can be obtained or can be chosen in m plus n ways. Now, I have written there or word had come for union. I hope you remember. Okay. So let me take one small example to make things clearer to you. In a school, class 10 has two sections A and B. Section A has 30 boys and section B has 30 girls. A boy or a girl is to be chosen as class representative. In how many ways that class representative can be chosen? Now, here there are 30 options of boys and there are 30 options of girls. Any one of them can become class representative. Okay. Now, easily you could have answered this as if 60 options are available, only one has to come, then answer should be 60. That I am telling you intuitively. But since we are learning methodically, so let us go one by one and apply this principle here. So I will have to write systematically. Set A stands for set of boys. B stands for set of girls. A intersection B is 5, correct? And NA union B by addition principle should be NA plus NB because a boy or a girl is to be chosen and hence the required number would be 30 plus 30 which is 60, correct? This is the proper answer. Even if tomorrow like you have to go for some exam where you have to write, then your writing should be in this manner. Answering things quickly, like orally, it's fine. But you should know how to write also. So this particular presentation I have given you. Otherwise, I could have perhaps shown only in figure also. Okay. Let us move from here to next principle. And that next principle is bijection principle. Word bijective you have already seen in functions. I hope you remember. So let me repeat that here. Set A has m elements, A1, A2, A3, AM. Set B has B1, B2, B3, Bn, n elements. And if you recall, you will say a function f from set A to set B can be injective. Then m is less or equal to n. If function f from set A to set B is a surjective function, then n is less or equal to m. And if f from A to B is bijective, then what will happen? M equal to n, and that is actually called the bijective function. So for a bijective function, we have m equal to n. Now this principle I have to use in problem. Frankly speaking, principle is straight from functions topic, but application you find in combinatorics. So that we will do with help of some illustration. Now my illustration is that what is the total number of subsets of a set having exactly n elements? Now, answer for this question you have already seen or used also perhaps in topic set. There we had not given you any explanation that why do we say that so and so is number of subsets. Now you can actually derive and find out that how many subsets are possible of a set which has exactly n elements. Now, what we do is here I write things little systematically as first you will have to name things. Now, nothing has been given in the question. So, I write, let S be a set which has exactly n elements. Okay. What are we talking about? Subsets of this set. So, I will have to consider somewhere subsets of that set also. So, I say let P be the set which contains all the subsets of S. and. Now what I have written further, that is important. Then I am writing, and there is another set Q, which is set of all binary sequences. And how many elements? N elements. Now what do we mean by binary sequence? A binary sequence consists of zeros or 1. That means you are considering a sequence in which 0 or 1 appears, and how many places you can fill by zeros or ones? N places. That means there is one set P which has set of subsets of given set, that is S, and there is another set Q where I am writing all possible binary sequences having N places. When I say binary, I mean filled by zeros and ones only. Now what happens? How do we decide first that there is some connection between set P and set Q? For that I am writing there is some set A which is some subset of set S. So obviously it has to be somewhere in set P, correct? So A is in P and there is function F from P to Q, correct? What kind of function that is? What is job of function? It associates. What would it associate? It would associate something from set P to something from set Q. That means a set on one side and a binary sequence on another side. How does it do? I am writing that function F, that is my choice, which I am defining. I choose something like this, that I would say an element AI would belong to set A if and only if ith term of the sequence is 1. This I have chosen to understand that is there any connection between these two sets. I am saying AI belongs to A if and only if ith element is 1 in that sequence. Otherwise, rest all I am expecting zeros. Now I say, for example, now set A consists of A2, A4, AN minus 1. Now if A2 appears in set A, that means at second place I am expecting 1 to appear. Now A4 is appearing there, that means I am expecting 1 to appear at fourth place. And similar explanation you can have for AN minus 1 also. That means sequence would look something like this. At second place I have to write 1, at fourth place I have to write 1, and at n minus 1th place also I have to write 1. So my sequence would be something like this. If A2, A4, AN minus 1 set of all these three elements, if that set is in set P. So this way I will be writing on one side subsets and other side sequence, correct? So what will happen? That for every subset I am in position to write a sequence, and if I can write sequence on my own, I should be able to generate correspondingly somewhere the subset also. That means number of subsets, whatever I am writing here, that means number of elements of set P. And if I am writing here number of binary sequences, which comes as number of elements of set Q, would they not be equal? That means I am using here nothing but bijection principle. So what happens? Instead of counting number of elements of set P, it is better to count number of elements of set Q, which is easy to count. So instead of actually counting how many possible subsets are there, we go for actually how many binary sequences are there having n elements. And we understand that answer should be 2 raised to n. Now why am I saying 2 raised to n? Now understand this carefully. Now we have n places. Each place can be filled by either 0 or 1. So 2 options are available for first place, 2 options are available for second place, and so on up to nth place. Nth place also can be filled in 2 ways. Use multiplication principle and give the final answer as 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, like that up to nth place. Last one is also into 2. So answer comes out as 2 raised to n. And this, if now you recall, you have already used how many possible subsets are there of a set having n elements? 2 raised to n. Or go back to that set theory chapter and search for this result. We have already used this result. We have used only result. Explanation comes in the topic combinatorics. Now here I end my session. Next time when I come, we will be doing something new again. Hope you have liked the video. If you want to subscribe, click on this side. And if you want to place order for the book, click on this side. Thank you.